Welcome back, everyone. We've had a ton of requests to do a deep dive into turmeric, so that's what we're going to do today.
It seems like everyone's curious about this golden spice and how to really, tap into its potential.
Right, because I mean, I've heard it can help with everything from inflammation to like your immune system.
Oh, absolutely. And even things like, pain relief, especially if you have arthritis.
But there's also like a lot of hype, right? Like how much of it is actually true and how much is just clever marketing?
Well, that's a great question. And that's what we're here to figure out.
Okay, so let's break it down. Where do we even begin with something like turmeric?
I think a good place to start is with curcumin.
Curcumin, okay.
It's what gives turmeric that vibrant yellow color. And a lot of the health benefits that we associate with turmeric are actually due to curcumin.
So curcumin is like the main event.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Curcumin is kind of finicky. It's unstable, for one. And it doesn't dissolve very well in water. Plus, our bodies have a tough time actually absorbing it.
So like those pictures you see of like turmeric water, that's probably not doing much.
Yeah, you're not really getting all those benefits just by mixing some turmeric powder with water. Think of curcumin like as a treasure chest.
Okay.
It's full of like all these health benefits, but you need the right key to unlock it.
Interesting. So then what is the key? How do we unlock all those benefits?
Well, first things first, we've got to remember that, like with anything good, moderation is key.
So even though turmeric's natural, you can have too much of a good thing.
Absolutely. Too much turmeric can actually cause some digestive issues
Oh, right.
because it's high in oxalates, which can lead to things like gas, bloating, even diarrhea if you overdo it.
Oh, yikes. Not what we're going for.
Yeah, definitely not fun. And in extreme cases, it could even increase the risk of kidney stones.
So, I guess it is really important to find that sweet spot.
Right. How do we make sure we're getting the benefits without, going overboard?
Right. Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that just because you eat turmeric, your body's automatically absorbing all that curcumin.
That makes sense.
But that's not always the case. A lot of it can just pass right through you.
Right. Okay. So how do we change that?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Curcumin, it needs a little help to be absorbed properly.
Okay.
And there are a couple of key strategies that can really boost its bioavailability.
Okay. Give them to me.
The first one, remember that curcumin is fat soluble.
Meaning it dissolves in fat.
Exactly. So if you combine turmeric with healthy fats like oils or nuts, that can make a huge difference.
So fat and turmeric, that's a winning combo.
Absolutely. They work really well together. Now, the second strategy, and this one's kind of a game changer,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
black pepper.
Black pepper.
Yep. It contains a compound called piperine, which can seriously increase curcumin absorption, like up to 2,000%.
Wait, 2,000%.
It's amazing, right?
That's wild.
Yeah.
So like a pinch of black pepper can totally change how my body uses curcumin.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a simple trick, but it really works. And this all kind of makes you think about those curcumin supplements, right?
It does, yeah. Like, is that the answer then? If absorption's such an issue, maybe we should all just be taking supplements.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? The supplement market, it's kind of a wild west out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And unfortunately, curcumin supplements, they're not always regulated as well as they could be.
So you're saying you don't always know what you're really getting?
Exactly. And, like we talked about before, too much curcumin can actually have some negative side effects.
Right, yeah, like digestive issues and all that.
So it's not a magic solution.
Okay. So maybe supplements aren't the best route,
Hmm.
but we still need to figure out how to actually get enough curcumin, right?
Right. And interestingly, some research actually suggests that maybe whole turmeric might be even better than just isolated curcumin supplements.
Whole turmeric, so like the actual root and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Because it turns out that turmeric contains other beneficial compounds besides just curcumin.
Okay.
And these compounds might actually work together to enhance the anti-inflammatory effects. It's like a synergy thing.
So we're getting more out of it by using the whole thing rather than just taking a curcumin pill.
It seems that way, yeah. And there's another cool thing about cooking with turmeric. It can actually boost its antioxidant potential.
So cooking it makes it even more powerful.
Yeah, kind of like, activating its superpowers.
I like that.
And as a bonus, cooking can also help to reduce those oxalates that we talked about earlier.
Oh, right, the ones that can cause digestive problems.
Exactly. So it's a win-win.
Okay, I'm sold. But how long should we be cooking it for to get the most out of it?
Aim for around 4 to 5 minutes, just as part of your regular cooking process.
Perfect. Okay, so we've learned about curcumin, how to boost its absorption, and why cooking with turmeric can be so beneficial. But I'm ready to get practical. How do we actually incorporate this stuff into our lives?
Right, let's talk recipes.
Hit me with your best turmeric tips.
First and foremost, embrace turmeric as a culinary superstar. It's so versatile, you can add it to curries, soups, stews, stir fries. Really, the sky's the limit.
I love adding it to my scrambled eggs. It gives them such a nice color.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And remember, cook it in some healthy fat to help with that curcumin absorption.
Got it. Olive oil, coconut oil, all that good stuff.
You got it. Now, you mentioned turmeric milk in your research, also known as golden milk. Have you ever tried it?
I haven't, no, but I see it everywhere these days. What's all the hype about?
Well, for one, it's delicious. Turmeric milk is warm and comforting, plus it's packed with nutrients. And the milk fat actually helps with that curcumin absorption we were talking about.
Oh, okay, so it's like built-in absorption booster.
Exactly. Plus, the calcium in milk can actually help to reduce oxalates.
So it helps with both the absorption and reducing the potentially harmful effects of oxalates.
Precisely. And you can even add a pinch of saffron for an extra flavor boost. It's a great combination.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to try that. You also mentioned something called turmeric pickle in your notes. I have to admit, I've never heard of that before.
Turmeric pickle. Oh, it's a real treat.
What is it exactly?
It's basically using the whole turmeric root. You chop it up, sun-dry it, and then preserve it in mustard oil and spices.
Wow, that sounds really intense.
It's got a really long shelf life, so you can make a big batch and enjoy it for months, and it's a really concentrated source of curcumin.
A little goes a long way.
Exactly.
So you've actually tried both the turmeric milk and the turmeric pickle.
Oh, yeah. I love experimenting in the kitchen.
Well, maybe you can share some of your tips and tricks for making those in a future deep dive.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered some really great ways to incorporate turmeric into our diets. But before we wrap up, I do want to circle back to the supplements for a second. We talked about the potential downsides, but are there ever situations where supplements might be a good option?
You know, while I generally recommend getting your turmeric from whole food sources whenever possible, there might be cases where supplements could be helpful, like if you have certain dietary restrictions or maybe you need a higher dose of curcumin for specific health reasons.
Right, like if you're working with a doctor or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's best to talk to a healthcare professional to figure out the best approach.
Definitely. They can assess your individual needs and make sure you're taking the right amount. And even with supplements, remember, moderation is still key.
Always.
It's really interesting to think about how much our understanding of food and its impact on our bodies is, always changing. What might be considered like a health fad today could be totally validated by science tomorrow.
That's so true. I think the good reminder to just stay curious and open to new information and to really question those beliefs that we might have held for a long time, but that maybe don't actually hold up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we've done with this deep dive into turmeric. We've really, peeled back the layers, busted some myths, and discovered some really fascinating ways to, actually use it effectively.
Right. It's not just about throwing turmeric on everything. It's about understanding how it works and how to get the most out of it.
The biggest takeaway here is that knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. The more you understand about, what you're eating and how it affects your body, the better decisions you can make.
It's about taking control of your well-being.
Exactly. And as you continue to explore the world of turmeric, approach it with curiosity, a healthy dose of skepticism, and a willingness to experiment.
I love that. And maybe you'll even discover some of your own, unique and delicious ways to enjoy this golden spice. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into turmeric, but we hope this conversation has given you a better understanding of how to really unlock its incredible potential.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world around us.
Thanks for joining.